The meltdown started at 1:24 p.m. The first officer arrived at 1:28 p.m., somewhere around there. Backup arrived at 1:34 p.m., and Eric was in cardiac arrest at 1:40 p.m., and he was declared dead at 2:35 p.m. There has to be a different way to deal with this stuff. There's got to be.
There were a lot of officers surrounding him. And I told them, I said, the more officers around, it could escalate the behaviors. And I got told each one of those situations, ma'am, let us do our job, let us do our business.
With a meltdown like Eric had, they typically there was be a ramp up period, and then things would calm down. Unfortunately, when law enforcement arrived, he was really on the wind down period of this. And then when they arrived, things ramped up again. And then a second deputy got on top of Eric, and then things really ramped up. And then now you're physically have him in a situation where he can't breathe well, and keeping him in that position, he's going to die.
Having behaviors such as he did with his severe autism, and his behaviors were due to his inability to verbalize what was going on with him. He couldn't say, I'm upset about this, like we can, to express our feelings, express our emotions, express our wants or needs. They need to monitor the situation, what's going on, and they need to listen to the caretaker or family member that's there. I mean, in our case, it wound up being a matter of life and death.
Eric shouldn't have died. That's the bottom line. And so there's got to be a different way.
They treated him just like he was someone that was in distress. The disability, that was a part of it, but they wanted to make sure about his safety as if he was just, any individual in the community. We told him that Eric had autism. They said, what can we do to help? And I think that was very key into helping de-escalate the situation, calm the situation down. And, she listened to what we had to say. She calmly went to him. They poked their head in, and said, you okay, buddy? And they gave him space. Came back later. You still doing okay, buddy? And so they just handled it so differently than the day that Eric died on January 19, 2020. I mean, we don't want anyone to have to go through that kind of pain that we have. It's devastating. You can't get your loved one back. And if that can prevent another family to have to suffer through this kind of tragedy, it feels like Eric's life wasn't in vain, and that he can continue to teach, even though he's not here, that maybe he can teach others how to handle situations or crisis when they meet someone like Eric.